Hello and welcome to the set of videocasts for Chew Valley School and Flash CS5 Professional. We've got to the point where we've got a rabbit to move across using the classic tween and flip and go back the other way, and we've written some text using the brush tool to shape tween into something else. I'm going to now start a new one, File New and Action Script, and I'm going to introduce a new skill to you here, which is the layers up the top. Now, for now, we've just been using the paintbrush to draw on top of the canvas on the stage. There you go, there's some drawing. And then we've been inserting a blank keyframe or a keyframe, pressing delete, and writing our new thing, which is yes. And we've got our text at the start, our text at the end, and in between we've done some sort of shape tweening or whatever flights our fancy as such. Right click and shape tween, and there's hello to yes. So we've got some sort of shape tween happening on the first layer. Now a lot of you will be getting to the point where you'll be saying, well, actually I want a background on this as well, I want something else to happen at the same time, and this is why we use layers. Imagine you've got a piece of paper and you're trying to move something on the piece of paper without moving everything else. Very difficult. It's like trying to move this motion editor without moving the rest of the window, or moving this word help without moving the rest of it across. So just try and move this word help. It's not possible. So we need to create another layer on top of what we've got or below what we've got and do something else with it. And we do that by pressing the new layer button here. So click new layer. I've got layer 1 and layer 2. It can get very confusing very quickly unless you name your layers, because you never remember what's on layer 1 when you get to layer 13. So let's do that now. Let's double click on layer 1 and it brings up a little text box for us, and that's going to be hello and yes. So I'm going to put on hello and yes, because those are the two pieces of text that we've got on that layer, hello and yes. Layer 2 is going to be our background layer, so I'm going to call that background, and I'm then going to paint on a very simple, using the rectangle tool, a very simple grass scene. So I've got some grass at the bottom down here, and then I'm going to have some sky up there as well. So I'm going to use the rectangle tool again and use blue and put the sky on just after the rectangle, so they should match up now. So I've got my sky, I've got my green grass area down here, but one of you things that you may notice already is that the hello and yes layer isn't appearing. It seems as if our background layer is literally, and it is literally, above the hello and yes layer. So we just need to swap them around. We need to say the background literally goes at the bottom of the pile, so it's down here. Move it downwards. I'm just literally clicking and dragging it, and now our hello and yes has appeared. So I've got hello and yes now appearing on the background. Let's delete the hello and yes layer using the trash can tool there. I don't really want that. I want it to be a bit more professional than just hello and yes going over there. So I'm going to add a new layer again, and this layer, layer 3, is going to have something on it. I'm going to put an image. So we're going to get an image from the student resources area. Now I would recommend going start, programs, departments. This isn't inside Flash, this is you doing it yourself. In student resources, in OCR Nationals level 2, and then into Unit 20 animation and sprite library. And this is where I've kept a couple of useful sprites if you can't get them off the internet, or you can't find the games one, because games is filtered as a word. If you're looking for certain things like the Sonic one or the Mario one, have a look in retro games, see if there's anything there that's useful to you, or if you want to look for other or sports related activities, they are in there as well. I'm going to go for retro games, and I'm going to go for Sonic. So I'm going to get a picture of Sonic because I think my background is very similar to the early Sonic games. Let's go and grab the Sonic. There he is. And as you can see, the preview has shown that the Sonic runs. So we don't have to create each single frame of Sonic. We can just go and import it from here. So let's do that. Let's go into our library, and let's leave that empty for the moment, so we're ready to drag something in. Let's do that. Let's drag Sonic from here to our library. Click and drag, and it pops it in. Now the first thing you'll notice as it's loading it in is, one, it's slow because it's not in your home area, so it's got to go off and download all the appropriate bits into the Flash document. That does take a bit of time, but when it's in, let's minimize this and then go into Untitled 2, preparing to import it again. It should be a bit quicker on your computers than this one. So, and there's many other Sonic animations there that we could have. And there it is. So we've got our Sonic symbol in here, and we've also got the bitmap. So there's the individual pieces of Sonic that we could drag in at any point. So we could say we want this one, then we want this one, then we want all the way down, and then there's the original there. So you can run through it in slow motion. You can see that that's Sonic running. The one that we want though is this symbol 1, because if I press play on it, it's all of the pieces automatically added together. So I can go and drag this on up the side. So again, it's off the stage. Using the mouse toolbar just to select the appropriate place that we want it. So we want it on the line because Sonic runs across that. And then with our layer 3, now we know what's on there, we're going to double click it and call that Sonic. S-O-N-I-C. So we've got Sonic on this layer, the background on the other layer, and I'm going to insert a keyframe at the end and say, Sonic, I want you to run across the screen. So right click, insert your keyframe, and now I'm sure you can all guess I'm going to move it to the other side. Move it across the screen. Make sure it's at the same height. So you might want to do that onion skinning from before to make sure that it's on the same x-axis coordinate and y-axis coordinate there. That moving across, and un-onion skin it because we don't need that again. So it's going from one side to the other, and I'm sure you've all realised again, make sure you create the classic tween to get it to move across. In our design view, you'll notice that Sonic's legs do not move. That is intentional. When Flash is in design mode, which is this mode at the moment, it doesn't do all of the symbols for you because it would take too long to render it. So every little time that every change that you made to this keyframes at the top, it would have to work out which leg it was on. It would slow down the whole process of creating it. However, when I control and enter and run it and render it, you can see Sonic's legs are moving, if a bit fast. So I need to slow the whole process down. Let's drag Sonic a bit further then. So this last keyframe, which ends up here, we're going to drag so it lasts a bit longer. I'm going to drag it up to 90, so it lasts over double the current time that it was. Now the eagle-eyed among you will have said, well, actually when you do that, the background has disappeared. If you can work that out, that's quite an easy one actually, because the background's here. It's saying there's the background to start with, our keyframe where we draw it in, and then we'll keep it on for a couple of frames. Yep, it's on, and then there's a stop here, and it says I'm not going to continue here. So we need to make sure it continues. So I'm going to right click to here and insert a frame, so it adds it on a bit further. And I can insert a frame again, but actually it'd be a lot quicker just to insert a frame at 90, right click, insert frame, and it stayed on for that long. So let's control and enter, have a look at it again. The slowed down process means it's much easier to see, it looks much more professional, but you've got Sonic there casually drifting across the screen, but with the legs moving and the rest of his body moving as well. That's quite easy to do. Have a go at that.